Your weekend news just got better. Exciting features. It's all about the feeling. It's the Northern Vibes with Raven Davis.
Good evening and welcome to Northern Vibes, your go-to show for everything arts, culture, entertainment, and so much more. I'm Raven Davis, and tonight we're turning up the volume on creativity, community, and change. Our spotlight shines on a powerhouse of passion, a performing arts educator, mentor, and visionary who's transforming the arts landscape one rhythm, one voice, and one young dreamer at a time. She's not just creating performances, she's building a movement. Take a look. Shaquita Stubbs began her teaching career at St. George's High School in Freeport in 2006. Early on, she noticed the incredible talent among her students, as well as the lack of opportunities for them to develop and showcase their skills. Determined to change that, she launched the school's first performing arts course in 2013 and founded the Jags Pop Band, giving students a platform to perform not only locally, but also across the Bahamas and internationally. Under her leadership, these programs have become a source of pride for the school, helping students build confidence, refine their craft, and pursue higher education in the arts. Many have earned scholarships to institutions including Holland College, Stillman College, Langston University, and the University of the Bahamas. Beyond teaching, Ms. Stubbs is dedicated to inspiring the next generation of Bahamian artists, helping them discover their voices, express themselves creatively, and follow their dreams. Through her vision and guidance, she's left an enduring mark on the students and the wider community. Well, Ms. Stubbs, welcome to Northern Vibes. It's such a pleasure to be here in your neck of the woods.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Definitely. It's been a very long time since I actually stepped foot in an actual classroom. But just to start, tell us a little bit about what first drew you to teaching.
Well, funny story is I never really wanted to be a teacher. When I went to school, I was a composition major, writing classical music. And when I came home one summer, my mom was like, apply for education because you just never know where life's going to take you. So I applied for education, and sure enough, one day I ended up having to come back home and got a call from the Ministry of Education needing a music teacher in one of the schools, and ended up here, and that was 2006, yes.
And you've been teaching, like you mentioned, for 2 decades now. Tell us a little bit about what your early days were like, and how did you really find your rhythm as an educator?
Early days was really, it wasn't, I wouldn't say a struggle, but it was kind of hard to kind of get my initial footing, because you come in and you just kind of assess, and that was my original, anytime I go into something new, I do an assessment. Because I want to see the environment that I'm in and how I can help change it. And so my first couple of years was just basically kind of assessing where music was in the schools, how important it was, and then kind of figuring out how I could make a difference and what changes I could make. And so that's when I started implementing stuff like workbooks and getting more students involved with the National Arts Festival and performing, and letting them kind of, get their footing and hearing their voice and showing them that interest to say somebody actually cares about what it is you want to do as a singer, as a musician, and giving them outlets and opportunities to be able to do that.
And speaking of creating those workbooks, in 2013, I think it was,
yes,
you launched the Performing Arts course. What
yes,
does that entail, and what was that aha moment when you decided that, this kind of program is needed?
Well, one year we had our professional development, and the music officer, Jodine, at the time, she came in and she was talking to us, and we were telling her, music in the school is just an elective. And she was like, why are you guys operating under an elective system? In Nassau, performing arts is a course. That's all she had to tell me. I went home and I started brainstorming, and I actually wrote a proposal to present for a performing arts course to be launched here. Because of course, St. George's is kind of like a magnet school for a lot of different courses. We had marine biology, auto mechanics, cosmetology, carpentry. And so it's just now one more added thing for the students to be able to choose performing arts as a career path. And at that time, I had a lot of students in music that were really interested and just wanted to do music all day. And they were like, man, why we have to go to these other classes? I don't want to go, I want to be in here. Mm-hmm. And that was kind of my aha moment to say, okay, here it is in Nassau, they have a performing arts course running. We're still operating as an elective, and I have all these students that just want this musical outlet. And that was kind of my aha moment to say, hey, let's try to establish a performing arts course. And so it's so said, so done. 2013, there were some students that were 10th grade going into 11 that we actually pulled out of their previous courses. Some were in carpentry, some were in commercial arts, and we pulled them, and they were the first students to form the 11th grade performing arts course at the time in 2013.
And to date, how many workbooks or textbooks would you say you've created to date?
To date, I literally just completed revamping and revising. So altogether, there are 9 of them. There's 3 for music theory. There are 3 for musical theater, drama, and music production. Theater production, that is. And then there's also another 3, 2 focusing on music history, and 1 that the grade 12s use for music business, dealing with performance resumes, personal headshot, press kits, all that stuff.
And I'm sure that was definitely a very proud moment for you, correct?
Yeah, it was. But the kind of person that I am, I try to make things as easy as possible. And if you work in a school system, sometimes, you come to work and you want to do an assignment, the copier might not be working, or, it might be crunch time, and, so having the workbooks makes it very easy because everything is in one place. Kids have a habit of losing worksheets and they never could find it. But now they have workbooks where everything is in one place where they can study from, or their assignments come from, and it makes it a better flow as far as class planning and scheduling.
Definitely, but with most things that are new, you face some level of opposition, some hurdles. Would you say you faced any hardship when you were creating this course, and how would you say the course has evolved over the years?
I think initially my biggest hurdle was just kind of getting people to believe in it. And then also kind of setting the precedence that they're not just here to perform, they're not just here to make the school look good, but they actually have requirements of their own. So when the kids come in, they're met with requirements and things that they have to do. And so I try to make that priority. And then again, parents, they believe this is just for fun, right? Mm-hmm. So getting them to believe that the students can actually have a lucrative career in performing arts, in music, and it's something that even if they don't major in college, it's still something that can help them, that can enhance them, that they can take with them in the future.
Definitely. How do you get parents to believe in creative arts?
I guess that's where the success stories come in. At first it was a struggle because we didn't have anything to show because these kids are just here. But then after you have kids starting to go off to school, and then you have you see the kids performing, and then you see all the accolades that they get. Then it's like, okay, now I have something to show, right? I have, hey, this child went off to college and they got a scholarship in music and performing arts. This one went to Canada, this one went to Stillman. So when you start building that kind of rapport, then parents are like, oh, okay. And then now with social media, they actually get to see the kids and see what it is they're doing. It's like, okay, I want my child to go there because I see something positive happening.
And I think what's interesting is that earlier you mentioned to me that although they get these scholarships, for the creative or performing arts, mm-hmm. when they actually go to school, they don't have to stay within that, career path.
No, they don't. And I think that's a plus because, for instance, I've had students that have graduated get scholarships to Stillman College for the choir, but went on to study psychology or criminal justice, but they didn't lose their scholarship. They just had to perform with the choir, travel with the choir, but they still got to study the areas that they were interested in.
Awesome. And in that same year, you also created the Jags Pop Band.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Again, it was even with those same students that I pulled out, because they were the ones I remember. I can't remember the whole scenario around getting these instruments. We got a bass guitar, and I remember holding a bass guitar in my hand, and I had a student, T. Ron Jones, and he's just looking at me, and I'm like, do you want to learn how to play it? And he said, yeah. And he just came and he grabbed it out of my hand, and he was playing it ever since. I think he still plays in his church today. And so it's like those moments like that, and that's where it came from. And that year we got the opportunity to go to Canada, to Holland College, and I took a group of students and we performed at the school. They did auditions and stuff, and 3 of the students that went actually got scholarships to Holland. 1 studied musical theater, Lemuel Bain, and the other 2 stuck with their voice, and they studied voice mm-hmm. there. And so that opened up an opportunity now for us to send even more students to Holland. So, as we partner with these different institutions and we get these grants and scholarships, we're able to open up more doors of opportunities for students.
Yes, and I've had a chance to see one of the videos before the Jags pop band, and it has gone viral. Did you
Yes.
ever think, like, for a moment that, this would become so big?
Listen, I didn't know what to think. Only thing I wanted to do was create that space for kids. I didn't think that we were going to be as popular as we are. I didn't think it would have drawn as much attention as it has, because that really wasn't the goal. Because anybody that knows me knows that I don't like this kind of stuff. I don't like the spotlight. I like to be in the background. Even though I'm a performer myself, I'm a singer, I prefer the kids to be out, and when y'all look at for Miss Stubbs in the back in the corner somewhere behind the camera just recording. So I didn't expect it, but I can say that we've only gotten where we're at because of the talents of the students and the students that God has placed under my tutelage.
What do you think needs to be done to elevate the arts education in the Bahamas?
It starts from, I guess, the passion from educators. It's a lot. I will say that it's a lot to stay motivated, because you don't just have to deal with the students, but there's so much that goes on around that could be discouraging. And so what I find for myself, I find my joy and my willingness to keep going in the students, because sometimes in those moments when you want to throw in the towel and you're like, I can't take it no more, some child comes in here and hits a high note and blows you out of the water, or you come into a practice and they actually get it today, and then that's when you find your why. This is why I keep going, this is why I keep pushing. But then also a lot of the challenges comes from the parents as well. My mom never discouraged me from doing music. I've been doing music since I was 3, and at no point did she ever say to me, don't do this, it's a waste of your time. She just kept pushing me, she kept supporting me, even in my rude moments, in my down moments, in my moments when I wanted to give up. She was there. Even to this day, if the children perform, she's in the audience, because that's something that her daughter's doing. So I wish we had a lot more parents like that, just to give that support to children, not to discourage them, but to push them in their dreams and what it is they want to do.
And that support is definitely vital, but you've built an impressive legacy so far. What do you hope that your legacy would be, when you move on and transition into something else, the next phase of your life?
I just wanted to continue, and I think it will. Currently, I actually have a former student teaching at Jack Hayward, Tania San. She's a product of St. George's, and apparently I was her mentor, and I actually do have other students now at COB pursuing music education. I have one at Langston University pursuing music education. I have students that are in the course currently that I know want to be music educators, and so I think that's where my legacy is going to continue, and the students that I produce that are now going to be in the classroom carrying on the work that I've done.
And lastly, any final words of inspiration you would like to share with everyone out there?
I just want persons to, when you see young persons in creative arts, singing, performing, playing instruments, drawing, painting, whatever creative outlet they choose, be supportive, be encouraging, because you never know, that might be the word that they need that is going to take them and push them on to the next level in their life.
That is the word for today.
Yes.
Support. Thank you so much, Ms. Stubbs, for sitting down and sharing your story with us. It's
Yes.
definitely inspiring.
Thank you for having me again. Appreciate
Awesome.
it. Thanks.
Well, don't go anywhere. We are just getting started. News from around the north when we return. And tonight we leave you with this special performance from the lively Jags Pop Band. From all of us here in the north, I'm Raven Davis. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week, same time, same energy.